Welcome back to the National Underwater Robotics Challenge, though this event is going to take it to the international level. Joining us in the water now is the team Vortex. They are a combination of middle school, high school, and college students all the way from Alexandria in Egypt. They have been a team for 7 years total, and compete in different underwater robotics competitions. After this, they will be heading over to the volunteer state of Tennessee to compete there in the mate competition. But first, they have their run here in the pool where the mission timer has already started. We see one of our lone fish swimming its way, just keeping on swimming there across the pool.
Gain is 100%.
Now, of course, the setup time can run into the mission time window. It just means the mission time will have started already. Once again, everything is a trade-off here, and just like that in real-world engineering too. So we see them submerge their ROV. You may also see these devices called UAVs, underwater autonomous vehicles. Now, these are not autonomous necessarily, as they are remotely controlled by the driver. This looks like the ROV is going right for the first target. I believe they are holding the bomb as well, getting ready to open the cavern, which they are entering now. Making their way through the circuitous path towards the zone where they can drop off the bomb as well. It is, once again, it's 2 minutes from when they have armed the explosive device to when it could detonate. It needs to be placed in the correct area to make sure that the opening to the cavern is deployed. They're trying to navigate their way towards that opening, possibly having their tether caught up a little bit. Can't tell from this angle here. Yeah, it appears they are going back out of the cavern, trying to make another run for it as the explosive device is still counting down there. They may have released it from their grip, can't tell from this perspective. Yep, they're going again for the tunnel or returning to surface so that... Oh, they did place the explosive device. We saw that flash in there. Not sure if it is far enough away yet. But it seems like they have escaped from the tunnel before it went off. Looks like they're trying to navigate their way through some of the obstacles here in the pool as well. Carrying on with the theme we have at this event of unique tether setups. The tether on their ROV consists not only of power and communication, but also contains a pneumatic air hose. Considering both of their grabbers, they have two grippers on board, a rotational one and a horizontal one. Those are triggered by pneumatics. Pneumatics can be a great way to get linear motion at a relatively easy price. However, there's added complexity to having an air hose run all the way the length of your tether. They also have 4 camera inputs on board their ROV. Looks like they are trying to clear themselves from the barrier, and the bomb was deployed in a location not quite conducive to opening the cavern. Looks like they are free of their tether tangle here, going into the cavern, getting ready to connect a few of the things in there, turn on the emergency lights, press in the reactor door unlock code as well. Still 14 minutes left in the mission, plenty of time to score points. At a neutral score right now. Getting ready to move forward with their mission tasks. Possibly struggling a little bit with the tether as well. We will see them determining their next course of action. The cavern is a unique challenge, at least compared to the last year of NURC. Last year we had a straight tunnel that led into a pyramid area, less twists and turns to navigate, and a much wider opening. This year, the unique geometry of the tunnel can make it a little challenging to navigate in, and we've seen almost every single team at this event have some challenges either with navigating within the tunnel or with their tether that they have to take with them as well. Looks like they are pressing in the button combination as we see from the camera inside the tunnel. Once again, it's different for every team, and the different measurements are as well, so that teams cannot necessarily cheat off of each other should one team get it mostly correct. Looks like they have the correct combo in for the reactor door, pulling the door open. We see the ROV heading towards the reactor chamber. Going for the fuel rod task, like talked about earlier, the different grippers on the robot are designed to help them with these different fuel rod tasks. It's a complex series of events that has to happen, as the rod has to be lifted up and out of the reactor and then placed at a horizontal position into the lead-lined box. The ROV has successfully rescued one fuel rod out of the reactor, getting ready to head back towards their final destination. They've made it clear, almost clear of the door now, as they pull the ROV out along with the tether. Placing the fuel rod there at the bottom of the pool. However, there are still points for removing the fuel rod from the chamber, 25 each. Rather, 20 each from the chamber. Almost halfway point of the mission timer, 55 points have been scored for Vortex. This in from our judge who is keeping track of the score. One of the issues where they were caught up in the pool was on one of the cables for a field element. Now, normally the field can be part of the obstacle, but in this case, this is unintentional design, so we will be giving them 2 minutes back on their mission time. Looks like they almost have alignment on the grabber on the nuclear reactor. With the multiple cameras on board, they can carefully maneuver their ROV through the water. Looks like we see them pivoting on strategy, possibly looking to head back out through the reactor door and attempt a different mission. Still plenty of options left, including going fishing, delivering the communications tether, measuring distance, and measuring temperature. Looks like they're heading back down the tunnel, heading towards that emergency light switch, helping to shed some light on some of their activities here underwater. Looks like our team from Egypt has been having some challenges with the tether length in the pool. Navigating that tunnel can be tricky because there is a lot of twists and turns to make it through. They may be aiming for one of the fishing challenges or possibly the distance, looking at where they are headed now. Due to the detonation of the explosive device being in just a little bit off of target, unfortunately they were not able to open the shortcut to the cavern. But they're still able to go fishing here to analyze the effect of radiation on the local fish population. Looks like we have a fish down there trying to hang on. They're trawling the ocean floor here, looking for the fish that has fallen. Once again, they have multiple cameras on board. We're only seeing the feed from one, but the operator may have the ability to see multiple points of view at once. They're carefully navigating towards the next school of fish. We see represented there by the one swimming around near that supportive hoop. Now, ideally, of course, should the power plant be functioning correctly, there should be no evidence of radiation in the local fish population, but we want to be sure, hence the ROV's activities. They're rescuing the ROV from the pool, trying to take the fish out of its grasp there. as it goes fishing yet again. We see the ROV heading towards the pool side with 5 minutes remaining and 125 points on the scoreboard. It is possible that we're seeing them change out an attachment to perform another task. And they deploy their ROV there into the depths of the ocean. Looks like they may be trying to measure the volcano temperature, or possibly adding on another mechanism that will enable them to turn on the other emergency lights as well. They're aiming down towards that volcanic vent, trying to place the temperature probe at a place where it can read the different temperature of the water coming out. There's a maximum 50 points available for measuring the temperature, calculated by taking the difference between the measured temperature and what the actual temperature of that water is. And yes, that is heated water. I promise it's not just for show. It will actually be going through a hot water pump before it is placed through the volcano there at the bottom of the pool. Three minutes remaining on the official timer. Once again, they do get 2 additional minutes for their run due to a field fault that happened earlier. They are continuing the measurement process. And removing the temperature probe from the volcano. Two minutes remain in their official mission time as they navigate their way back towards the surface, trying to avoid that critical tangle they could have with the tether cord. Once again been radioed from the judge due to another field issue. They're granted another extra minute on the time. That means there will be 3 additional minutes to what is seen here on the stream. There is a possibility it may erroneously display an overtime. I will be sure to update you if that occurs. The final fish is being caught there underwater. As the old saying goes, teach a man to fish, they'll eat for a day. Not entirely sure what the consequences of teaching a robot how to fish are, but hopefully it means more people are fed as well. About 3 minutes remaining in their mission time. Once again, extra time granted. Want to make sure that's communicated. as that is not appearing on the screen for now, but we'll make sure no penalty points are added to their score should it go over the stated time on the screen, as long as it is within those rules. They're heading back towards the deeper side of the playing fields. Possibly going for another run at the reactor, or the distance measurement, as one of the flags for that measurement is down in the deep end of the pool. They may also be rescuing the fuel rod they left behind on the bottom of the pool. That appears to be the strategy they're going with, to try to get some of those extra points for placing it into the leaded case, and then using that lever next to the lead container to retrieve that to the surface. They have regained possession of the fuel rod, trying to carefully align it with the lead container. We haven't seen any robots complete this task successfully yet this evening, but it appears it may almost be in place. It, of course, will be up to our judge to complete the judgment of that task. Like I said, the screen displays the overtime. We have 3 minutes of granted time there. Looks like they are trying to adjust where the fuel rod is in that container to make sure it is ready to go. Close the lid on the container as well, because that is how you get points. They may not be able to see that the fuel rod must be properly placed in the container before the lid will close. We'll see what the rescue operation looks like as they place down the lever, signaling it is ready for rescue. The lead container is being removed from the pool now. ROV watching that occur, as it looks like it's about time for them to head back towards home base before their time is up. They're trying to use their rangefinder on their ROV to detect the distance between those flags here. They're timing the space it takes to get between the two to calculate that distance, measuring their velocity as well. And then they'll be able to do the calculation to detect that distance. About 20 seconds remain in the competition for the team from Egypt here as they rescue their robot from the water. Their preliminary score is 180 points. We will, of course, announce the final score when that is available to us. Now we're going to let them do their final cleanup sequence. We'll be back here in just a moment.
Welcome back. Thanks. So we're back with 3 members of Vortex here, and I'll ask the members of the team, and then they'll respond for us here. First question to the team here is: was there any? What was your team strategy going into this run? And
can answer about the strategy?
Yes. So basically we had a plan set up, so for the order of the missions we're going to do. We did change the plan in the middle of the run so we can have time to do other missions and get even more points. And we also set up that each time we set a time for a mission. If we take more than that time, we automatically switch to another mission so we don't run out of time.
I see. Thank you. Thank you. Second question would be, was there anything that was expected or perhaps unexpected about the conditions of the run that you faced?
Okay, we expected that we can enter the tunnel till the end, but actually our tether stuck in the entrance for both tunnels. So we did what we could reach, and we left the rest. There's another thing he saw, because he's our tetherman. He can answer.
Yeah, so the tether actually, you know, the hula hoop that the tether it's connected to the fish. So unexpectedly, while the ROV was going through the tunnel, the tether stuck to the wire of the fish, so it was interrupting it while it's moving. So it was slowing it down in the direction. So that was really unexpected, but we were able to manage it.
I see. Thank you. And final question for the team is: are there any interesting features about Kratos, the name of your ROV, this evening that you'd like to explain for our audience?
I don't know if it's interesting. We have a rotational gripper that twists, and we have lights. We have actually 5 cameras. I noticed today all the teams only have 1 camera that moves with the servo motor. We have 5 cameras, 1 for the gripper, 1 looking in front, 1 looking upwards, 1 downwards, and 1 behind us. Actually, the downwards one helped a lot while placing the fuel rods inside the bag. So yeah.
Indeed. Well, thank you very much for taking time to chat with us, and we'll send it back.
Can I give a shout out for our team in Egypt? Yeah, shout out guys to Vortex. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Thank you. All right, I'm back to the pool deck for preparation for the next round.